Did your favorite stars really age overnight? Or is something else behind those hollow cheeks and sharp jawlines? Across Hollywood, fans are quietly noticing dramatic face changes tied to one controversial trend, and no one's talking about it openly. If you've been wondering why so many familiar faces suddenly look unrecognizable, you're not alone. In this video, we break down what's actually happening, who's been linked to it, and the truth doctors don't always say on camera, so you can see past the headlines. Today, we're diving into 10 shocking celebrity transformations, the subtle signs most people miss, and one reveal at the end that might completely change how you see this trend. Tell me in the comments how famous your favorite star really is, and what you think about their transformation. Ariana Grande's transformation hasn't raised eyebrows simply because she looks different. It's the speed and intensity of that change that has unsettled many longtime fans. For years, her appearance was closely associated with a youthful softness, fuller cheeks, balanced features, and an overall vibrant presence that matched her energetic persona. Then, almost abruptly, that softness seemed to fade. Her frame appears noticeably slimmer, and with that shift, her facial structure has taken on a sharper definition. The cheeks that once gave her face a gentle symmetry now look more hollow, while her jawline appears more pronounced. Her eyes, once framed by that softness, seem larger but also more deeply set, creating a contrast that some viewers describe as striking while others find concerning. The overall effect doesn't read as polished or glamorous in the traditional sense. Instead, it gives off a more fragile impression, less about refinement, more about sudden transformation. For a performer known for radiating youthful energy, this shift has led some fans to question whether the change reflects personal choice, industry pressure, or broader trends influencing celebrity appearances today. It's important to note that changes in weight, styling, makeup techniques, lighting, and even camera angles can significantly alter how someone looks on screen. Still, the conversation around Ariana highlights a larger pattern audiences are noticing across Hollywood, where rapid physical transformations can sometimes feel jarring, especially when they contrast so sharply with a star's long-established image. Kelly Osbourne has spent most of her life in the public eye, growing up under constant scrutiny where every change, especially her weight, became a headline. For years, she spoke openly about her struggles, making her journey feel both personal and painfully visible. So when her recent transformation appeared, it didn't go unnoticed. It felt sudden, even to those who had followed her for decades. Her weight loss was significant and seemed to happen quickly. Along with it came visible changes in her face. The fullness that once softened her features gave way to more hollowed cheeks, and her jawline appeared sharper, more defined. Around the eyes, there's a subtle shift, too, less of that natural cushion, revealing a look that some describe as more tired than refreshed. What stands out isn't just the weight loss itself, but how it altered the overall balance of her face. Facial fat plays a key role in maintaining a youthful appearance, acting almost like a natural support system beneath the skin. When it diminishes rapidly, the result can sometimes create the opposite of what people expect, not a rejuvenated look, but one that feels unexpectedly aged. To be fair, lighting, makeup choices, and even camera angles can amplify these effects. And Kelly has been open about making lifestyle changes, including surgery in the past, which may also contribute to her evolving appearance. Still, her transformation reflects a broader conversation: how rapid physical changes, especially later in life, can reshape not just the body, but the way age is perceived on the face. For decades, Demi Moore has been held up as a rare example of enduring, almost ageless beauty, someone whose appearance seemed to resist the passage of time. That's precisely why her recent changes have drawn such close attention. When her weight noticeably dropped, the shift didn't just affect her body, it reshaped the overall structure of her face in ways that longtime fans quickly picked up on. Her features now appear more angular than before. The cheeks that once provided softness and balance look flatter, And without that natural fullness, finer lines and natural signs of aging become more visible. It's not necessarily about looking older in a conventional sense, but rather a change in facial harmony, where the contrast between sharper bone structure and thinner skin becomes more pronounced. This effect becomes even more noticeable with age. As collagen production naturally declines over time, the face relies more on underlying fat to maintain a smooth, supported appearance. When that volume is reduced too quickly, the skin can lose some of its structural support, leading to a look that may feel tighter, sometimes even strained, rather than refreshed. Of course, factors like lighting, makeup, and styling can influence how these changes are perceived on camera. Demi has also experimented with different looks throughout her career, which can add to the variation audiences see. Still, her transformation highlights a broader reality. Rapid weight loss, especially later in life, can subtly shift the balance of the face in ways that are difficult to predict, even for someone long admired for timeless beauty. Golnesa Garachadaghi's transformation stands out not just because of how dramatic it appears, but because of how openly she has discussed it. She revealed that her weight dropped significantly, from around 137 pounds to nearly 110 in a relatively short period. Unlike many public figures who avoid the topic, Golnesa has been transparent about turning to cosmetic procedures like fillers and Botox to maintain her appearance as her facial volume changed. As the weight came off, the natural fat that once supported her facial structure also diminished. This led to a noticeable shift, cheeks appearing less full, contours becoming sharper, and the overall face taking on a more hollowed look. Rather than ignoring it, she acknowledged that these changes pushed her toward aesthetic treatments to restore balance and preserve a sense of familiarity in her appearance. Her story highlights a cycle that's becoming increasingly visible. Rapid weight loss can sometimes lead to what people describe as a facial drop, where the loss of volume alters how the face holds its shape. In response, some individuals turn to cosmetic enhancements to rebuild that lost structure, creating a loop between physical transformation and aesthetic maintenance. To be clear, Golnesa's openness has also helped normalize conversations around these choices. Lighting, makeup, and camera angles can always influence perception, but her case offers a rare, candid look behind the curtain. It reflects a broader reality. When change happens quickly, maintaining a consistent appearance often becomes a more complex, ongoing process than many realize. June Shannon, widely known as Mama June, has gone through some of the most extreme physical transformations in reality television. Her journey has never been linear. After losing well over 280 pounds following bariatric surgery, she later faced setbacks linked to personal struggles, including emotional distress that contributed to weight regain. More recently, she has turned to modern weight loss methods, including injectable medications, in an effort to regain control. While the numbers on the scale shifted quickly, her skin and facial structure didn't adapt at the same pace. Years of significant weight fluctuation had already stretched the skin beyond its natural limits. So when the weight dropped again, the result wasn't simply a slimmer appearance. Her cheeks appeared more hollow, the skin looser, and the overall expression carried a visible sense of fatigue. This highlights an important reality about the body. Skin doesn't have unlimited elasticity. When it's repeatedly stretched and contracted through cycles of rapid weight loss and gain, its ability to rebound weakens over time. In the face, where volume and structure play a key role in maintaining a balanced look, these changes become even more noticeable. It's also worth noting that lighting, makeup, and stress can amplify how these features appear on camera. Still, June's transformation reflects a broader pattern. Extreme physical changes, especially when repeated, can leave lasting effects that go beyond weight alone, reshaping not just the body, but the resilience of the skin itself. Jon Gosselin's experience with OZEMPIC initially looked like a breakthrough. In a short span, roughly 2 months, he reportedly lost close to 30 pounds, a result that would catch anyone's attention. At first glance, it seemed like a rapid success story. But as time went on, the visual impact told a more complicated story. Along with the weight loss came noticeable changes in his face. The natural fullness that once gave his features balance appeared reduced, leaving behind a more hollowed, drawn look. Some observers described it as the so-called OZEMPIC face, where rapid fat loss in the face can make someone appear older, more fragile, even fatigued. The challenge didn't stop there. When John discontinued the medication, reportedly due to cost and insurance limitations, the weight began to return, and it did so quickly. This kind of rapid fluctuation can place significant stress on the body. The skin, already adjusting to sudden loss, is then forced to stretch again, weakening its structure over time. His experience highlights an important point often overlooked in quick transformation stories. Medications like these are not short-term fixes. They typically require long-term commitment and careful medical supervision to maintain results safely and consistently. Of course, factors like lighting, lifestyle, and aging all play a role in how someone appears. Still, John's journey reflects a broader pattern. When change happens too fast, the body doesn't always keep up, and the long-term effects can be more complex than the initial results suggest. Nicole Kidman has long been known for her naturally slender frame, a look that has been part of her identity for decades. But in recent years, that slimness appears to have become even more pronounced. As her body has grown leaner, subtle yet noticeable changes have emerged in her facial structure. With less natural volume in the face, her cheeks appear flatter than before, and the temples show a slight hollowing that wasn't as visible in earlier years. The skin, stretched over a more defined bone structure, can sometimes give the impression of tightness rather than softness. It's not a look of weakness, but one that some observers interpret as more tense than relaxed. This shift highlights a broader reality about aging and body composition. As people get older, the body naturally produces less collagen, and facial fat becomes an important element in maintaining balance and smoothness. When that volume decreases, whether gradually or through maintaining an extremely lean physique over time, the face can begin to reflect those changes more clearly. Maintaining a very low body weight for extended periods can subtly accelerate how aging appears in the face. Instead of conveying ease or vitality, the result can sometimes feel more controlled, even rigid, depending on lighting, styling, and camera angles. Of course, makeup techniques, skincare, and on-screen presentation all influence perception. Still, Nicole's evolving look illustrates how long-term physical consistency at extreme levels can reshape not just the body, but the overall expression the face conveys. Audiences grew up recognizing Tori Spelling by her softer features, rounded cheeks, a gentle facial balance that made her instantly familiar on screen. That's why her more recent transformation has stood out so strongly to longtime viewers. After welcoming her fifth child, she focused on weight loss and has spoken about using medications like OZEMPIC and Mounjaro as part of that process. While the weight came off, the changes didn't stop at her body. Her face reflected the shift in a noticeable way. The natural volume that once filled her cheeks and temples appeared reduced, creating deeper hollows that subtly altered her expressions. Without that fullness, her features seem sharper, and the overall look carries a different emotional tone than before. What makes this transformation especially striking is how it affects recognition. Facial fat plays a key role in how we identify familiar faces. It softens contours and maintains continuity over time. When that volume changes quickly, even small differences can feel dramatic. Tori herself has shared that her children were surprised when watching her in older episodes, noting how different she looked compared to now. Of course, lighting, makeup, and the natural aging process all contribute to these shifts. But her experience reflects a broader pattern many are beginning to notice. Rapid weight loss, especially when combined with life changes like pregnancy and aging, can reshape the face in ways that go beyond simple appearance, influencing how a person is perceived and even recognized. From Ariana Grande to Tori Spelling, these transformations tell a story that goes beyond appearance. What we're seeing isn't just weight loss, It's how rapid change, repeated cycles, and external pressure can quietly reshape the face and sometimes how a person is perceived. The lesson here is simple, but often overlooked. The body doesn't respond instantly or without consequence. Skin, structure, and overall balance need time to adjust. When change happens too fast, the results may not align with expectations. Long-term health, steady progress, and proper medical guidance matter far more than quick results. For viewers, especially those who've watched these stars for decades, it's also a reminder to look deeper. Aging, transformation, and personal choices are complex. What truly lasts isn't perfection. It's stability, well-being, and the confidence that comes from taking care of yourself over time. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to the channel so you don't miss any new videos. See you in the next one.